Why hello internet, and welcome to Bakeology Bar. The bar part's in this cup with my coffee. Fresh. So today, I'm trying something different only because if you're like me, you're stoveless too, and it's sad. You can't really bake or cook. So I found an alternative to help with that problem. So if you're still wanting to bake and you can't, and yes, there are more alternatives than this one, but today we are going to be using that bastard behind me, the microwave. Look at what it had done to my stove. The cracks, they just go. That's why we're using the microwave today, because I still need to bake. Found some recipes online, and a lot of them were sadly the cake in a mug, and I don't want to do that. So I just picked one. The site that I went off for these recipes is like cheat sheets or something. I'll put the link down below. So there are a few things in there that I did not pick because I don't have everything. If you want to try them out, go for it. But I picked 5 of the ones that I can do because I got the stuff for it. And I don't want to go anywhere, especially with the coronavirus being active now and the stay-at-home order issue here in Idaho. I'm just gonna stay home and work with what I got. I'm not 100% sure on baking in a microwave, so this is gonna be definitely a big challenge for me. And also kind of scary because I don't know how this is gonna turn out. So I'm also gonna judge these recipes and see how well they really work. Let's go for it, shall we? So the first thing we're gonna start off with on this interesting video is chocolate chip cookies. I already feel like this is going to be a downfall. Who knows, maybe I could be surprised. First things first for the chocolate chip cookies. You want 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Woo. Okay. Got my little tablespoon of butter. Maybe. And now you just mix the crap out of that until it's light and fluffy as it can be. Mixed in a bowl with a fork. I already don't know how I feel about this. Right, the next thing you want to do is add a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of egg. Gross. Back to mixing. Hell yeah. 2 tablespoons of AP flour. AP is all purpose. A pinch of baking powder and a pinch of salt. And that's all right here. Alright, and again, we just mix and stir because we love to mix. I am making a mess again. But it looks like it's coming together. Not used to such a small amount of cookie dough. Yeah, we'll see how. Now we're going to do this by hand, and yes, I've washed. Now just get it all out of the thing. Alright, now there is our beautiful little cookie dough ball. Yay! Now, sprinkle in the chocolate chips. Looks like normal cookie dough. Next step, break out your little balls and put them on a microwave safe plate. And we're going to toss it in the microwave for 40 seconds. Okay, let's see how it went. Huh. Oh, they feel really hot, but okay, not bad. It doesn't feel done, or it doesn't seem done, or cooked, to toss it back in for 5 more seconds. But you know what? Okay, so we are just gonna let these sit out and cool down. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. The cookies have cooled down to the touch. And let's now see how they taste. They're not bad, but they're not all that great either. I'm gonna say overall, not so great, so you're more than welcome to give it a shot. Project number 2, number 2. Chocolate cake in a mug. So starting with what you need for the chocolate cake in a mug, you need a mug. Typically it's a 12-ounce mug, but I'm not typical. The mug that I have grabbed is my favorite one. It's a Leo mug. Got it from Ross. And I love it because look at that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. That's me. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of AP flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, a pinch of salt, which is optional. You also need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, which I have all right here. It is all within and ready to go. And then you want to dump that in your mug carefully. Maybe start off in the mug, because I got it on the table. But it's in. Next part for your wet ingredients, you want 3 tablespoons of milk, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and a splash of vanilla. That looks just so tasty and so appetizing. Don't mistake that for your adult beverage that you choose to drink during the making process. And then pour that all in. And then you want to mix that up well. Also, this might shock some of you and offend some of you, but I am not a chocolate person. I do not like chocolate. Oh, last thing I forget. Okay. You want 3 tablespoons of chocolate chips. I won't lie, I totally forgot to add the sugar. I'm such a great baker. Don't you just want to follow me? Make sure you hit subscribe if you're having fun. Leave a comment down below if you are much better at baking in the microwave, because this is also challenging. I lost my chocolate chips. I found them. Just have them nice and incorporated, because we like to incorporate things. Here. It should look similar to that goopiness. Once you have it all mixed up, you want to throw it in a microwave for 90 seconds. Do not overcook or it will be dry. And then you want to let it cool for 2 to 3 minutes before eating. Let's see how this goes. We're at the dreaded spot. Yes, it's still dreaded to me. Now 90 seconds, and then we'll come back to it. That's hot. It just looks like that. I mean, I don't quite know how to feel. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna do what the directions say. I'm gonna leave it to cool for 2 to 3 minutes and we'll come back to it. So while that cools, we're gonna move on to lemon bars. Heads up now. If you are familiar with lemon desserts, you know typically they're gonna want lemon juice and lemon zest. Make sure you actually have a proper lemon zester, because I'm using a normal cheese grater because that's all I got. Just wanted to give a heads up on that. Alright, now that we're on to the lemon bar stage, the things we're gonna need, there's 2 parts. You've got one for the crust and one for the filling. For the crust, we need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, zest from 1 lemon, about a tablespoon worth, and 6 tablespoons of melted butter. So you've got the flour, the powdered sugar, and the lemon zest already stirred up. Now I just gotta pour in my melted butter. 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Anyway, you're gonna mix all that up now, and that's gonna make your crust. But you don't want to be crusty. Haha. So once this is all mixed up and incorporated and yada yada yada, you want to put this into a 9x9 baking dish. Microwavable safe, hopefully. Since I don't have my square one, we're using a round one. After a while, I gave up it with the fork, and I'm using my hands again. Yes, they are washed. So, see, you can see the crust. I mean, you can see the lemon zest in there, and the powdered sugar, the flour. Now that that's all good, you can go ahead and press that into your baking dish of your choice. A helpful thing that I've learned is if you use a spoon, like the back side, bottom side of the spoon, to press in your dough, like if you're doing a pie. That's one way to do it. I'm kind of lazy, so I'm just gonna use my hands and push all this dough into my dish. I feel like that is good enough. I hope that's good enough. We're gonna find out. So it should kind of look something similar to this. Now we need to pop this in the microwave for... So we're gonna microwave this for 3 minutes at an 80% power level. And then we gotta check the crust. If it's not firm, microwave for another 30 seconds at 80% power. Now that that's in there, we're just gonna wait for 3 minutes. Let's try that chocolate cake in a mug. Look how fancy that is. Isn't that just delicious? No, it's literally just chocolate cake. There's no frosting, no nothing, but... Huh. So while it has the texture of cake, it tastes very much like a brownie. It's not bad. Still don't like chocolate, but it's not bad for cake in the mug recipe. So obviously it's gonna be hot, so careful. This smells like a roasted lemon. I don't know how to describe scent, but it smells pretty good. It does feel firm to the touch. Next part is the filling. Yay! You need a cup of sugar, zest from 2 lemons, about 2 tablespoons, 3 large eggs, room temperature, a 1/3 cup of fresh lemon juice from those zested lemons. That way nothing really goes to waste. A tablespoon of AP flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. So there already is the lemon and the sugar. Now I'm gonna mix in those eggs. No, just pour that in. Fun. It says to make the filling, beat the sugar, lemon zest, eggs, and lemon juice together in a large bowl. I won't lie, this is really weird. So yeah, that's what I've got so far for this filling. What else do I need to do though? So now that that's all beat together, you want to add the flour, baking powder, and salt, and then continue to beat for 2 to 3 minutes. It's all ready. Again, I've never actually had a lemon bars. I had to switch to a whisk because that fork was not cutting it. Alright, the last part is to pour the lemon filling over the crust. Now then microwave for another 3 minutes at 80% power. Check to see if the filling is set. It should jiggle slightly. If not set, microwave for 1 minute more at 80% power. Alright, we're gonna pour it over. Ooh, so fancy. So now, got this guy all on there, and we're gonna go heat this up and see what happens. Oh boy. I know I said jiggle, but for 1 more minute, see if that helps. Alright, it's been another minute. Let's check it. Oh, there is that slight jiggle. Look at that jiggle. That is the end result. Lemon filling is there with the excess amount of foam and bubbly up top. To be honest, that doesn't look very appetizing to me. And it also says now that to let cool, bars should chill for several hours or overnight. Cut into squares or whatever the hell this is gonna turn out to shapes. Dust with powdered sugar and serve. Oh boy. Now we're going on to number 4, which is going to be the cherry crisp. I don't even know what to anticipate with this one. This one seems very simple, but it is a little longer, if not about the same time as the lemon bars. And you need a can of pie filling, We need 3/4 cup of brown sugar packed, 2/3 cups of cookie notes, a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, and a 1/4 cup butter cube. And thankfully, I have all that. Whoops. I have all that ready to mix up and start. You're also going to need a 9-inch pie plate. I have that. If you couldn't tell by the way it looks, you're also going to want to grease that. Our first step to this is to spoon the pie filling into your pie dish. This is definitely something I never thought would be in a microwave. Voila. Leveled nice and evenly. Once you have that all done, you want to mix your oats, your sugar, your flour, and your cubed butter till it's nice and crumbly. I'll be back. What the hell? Alright, once you have that nice and mixed and crumbly, then you're going to want to sprinkle that over your pie filling. Now I just feel like I'm playing in Sandbox. Alright, so once you have it piled onto your pie plate and pie filling, you're just going to kind of have something like this, I guess. So, yeah. It's ready to go to the microwave. You want to do it for 7 to 9 minutes on high power. High. Now we just wait. Woo. Alright. So I put it in for 8 minutes and it didn't seem quite done to me. So I did an extra minute at the high power still, and doesn't look much different from when I put it in the first time. It's actually really freaking hot, so I have oven mitts on, but this is what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but also this looks very weird for a crisp. Oh, that's okay. It's pretty hard on top, so we'll have to give it a shot once it cools down. Finally made it to the last recipe. If you're still here with me, hit that like button down below to show that you liked it. Or that you feel sorry. The last recipe is a cobbler. Originally it did say to be a blackberry cobbler, but I ain't got no blackberries. I'm gonna do blueberries because I got those. But before we jump into this final recipe, also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this random shenanigans, because I know I'd appreciate that. So what you need for this cobbler is an 1/8 cup of flour, a pinch of salt, and an 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder. So half a heaping tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of cold butter, 8 large blackberries, or whatever fruit you want to try to use, a teaspoon of sugar. Sorry, I had to put the hair back up. So first things first, you're gonna wanna put your fruit in a microwave safe bowl or an open mouth wide jar thing. Put your fruit in that or a bowl. And sprinkle that with a teaspoon of sugar, and then you're gonna toss it in a microwave. Already done. And then you're gonna set that aside because you will need that for later. In a separate bowl, you're gonna wanna mix your flour, your salt, your baking powder, and your heaping tablespoon of sugar. You're gonna wanna mix that together. That's what I got here. Also, I think I totally forgot. You are also going to need a tablespoon of milk, which I forgot to mention earlier. Once you've got those dry mixed together, you're gonna wanna mix in your butter and your milk. But you're gonna wanna use your phalanges. So while you're mixing your butter with your dry ingredients, the end result, you want to make sure it's crumbly. And then after that, you want to add your milk. Once the milk is added, you want to stir to combine all of the ingredients. Once the milk is in, you stir until it combines, that it makes the dough. And then once that is done, you want to spoon it out of the one bowl into the other. Just spoon it over like you would with a cobbler or dumplings. Then once you have it spooned over the blueberries or your fruit of your choice, then at that point, throw it in a microwave for a minute. If it does not look done, 20 seconds. If it still does not look done, it doesn't say. So another 20 seconds. Once it looks done to you, then you just let it sit and cool. And you can serve plain or with the ice cream. The choice is yours. Alright, so I had done all what I had said. Got the blueberries, got the weird dough that looks almost like cream of wheat. It is time to go into the microwave now. Did the minute-long cooking. Did the additional 20. Needless to say, I'm disappointed yet again. That also does not look very appetizing. Also, it just doesn't look like it's done, but I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it to feel spongy. But that's what you get with working with the microwave. So my overall thoughts on microwave baking, same as I thought from the very beginning before I started. Not gonna go well, not gonna impress, and low expectations. So those are 5 recipes that I had found. And unless you can make it work, go for it. I am disappointed and I'm done. The bar is closed and I will see you all next time. Bye.